How's it going, YouTube? First video of 2022. Figured I'd start out with a few little updates. So it's January here in Pennsylvania, so it's nice and cold here today. Of course, this car doesn't see much action during the winter, so its battery is dead right now. So hasn't been yet this year, so hasn't been started here in January. I think it was the week of Christmas might have been the last time it was driven. I can't remember. But that's where this is sitting right now. I have it on the charger. Maybe we'll do a cold start. But the main thing of this video, I figured I'd do a twofer here. Now the car's dirty and the floor mats are dirty, but I wanted to do a quick review. Show you them used instead of them nice and clean. These are the WeatherTech floor mats. These are for the 21 Kia K5 front wheel drive. So this is the EX. I actually was able to pick these up from a friend who had upgraded himself to a Stinger and only had these for a few months. So I was able to get these from him. I cleaned them up. They were clean, but of course they've been being used. Of course you see remnants of areas of where the floor mats weren't necessarily covering before. But so far I've been pretty happy with them. They fit pretty well. My biggest thing is I kind of wish they did go up higher. They only cover up a portion of the dead pedal there. I kind of wish they went up higher. And I kind of wish they were able to incorporate around the gas pedal a little better. But for the most part, everything is pretty good fitting. That and back here, there is a gap. They kind of feel like they should be back a little bit farther here, but they do lock into the floor, so you can't necessarily move them back. So that does give an opportunity for stuff to build up down below here, which is kind of disappointing, but I haven't had a whole lot of experience as far as snow. We've had rain and such, so I don't know how they're going to hold up as far as the snow goes. But I have that one there, and I have the one over here. Pretty much the same situation. This one seems to fit a little better, probably because it has more use. This one's only seen a little bit of foot traffic from me, maybe one or two instances. I don't often have people in the car. It's typically just me going to work. As far as unlock the back, and excuse the mess, as it is winter here. Here's my snow brush, but you can see it does cover all the way to the back, and it form fits over to here. It does look like it interferes with the seat belt over here, which is kind of annoying. And once again, it doesn't quite, I guess if you mush it back, but you can see it does interfere with the seat belt. I don't know. Look at that. Okay. You got to forgive me here. I haven't honestly looked at the back one since I put it in. But that's something to keep note of. You do have to tuck it under the seat belt there, but it goes all the way up to the center console, and it looks like this side went in. So okay. This one hasn't had any use for me yet, so I don't know how it's gonna hold up with people getting in and out, but overall I'm pretty happy with them. But yeah, that's pretty much the update. Car's been doing well since the 1-year review that I did. Let's see, we're at 7250. I don't think you can read that, but you know, do a cold start on this. Look at that.
Let's drive.
As usual. So it's 39 degrees out here today, according to the car at least. Why not? Doing a little impromptu video. Do a little exhaust. Good. Wow, yeah, that's a bit of a flaw in this vehicle part. It does collect leaves up and in this little pocket right here pretty bad. And if you don't get these out, they will rot it out. But obviously this car doesn't really get driven all that much, to be honest with you. I don't really go anywhere. Probably not gonna be fancy edits for this video. Just FYI. Just kind of doing an impromptu video. I was out here charging the battery because I was going to take it out for a quick spin. Noticed that. Figured I'd do a quick startup on this guy. Yeah, I mean, it's a little noisy, but it is direct injection. But, yeah. So overall, outside of the initial problems with this car, I haven't really had too much to talk about. I mean, it's doing quite well. I've been pretty happy with the car still. Other than my complaints like the paint and such. But, you know, these tires, I'm not a fan. I mean, for 7,000 miles, and they were rotated, not very happy with that. But I guess that goes with the territory of new cars. Supposedly they put like an inferior tire on them, I've been told. Which, seeing that, it's very likely, being that those are Pirellis, I very well doubt they should be having that much wear already. I mean, that's pretty insane, if you ask me. Considering I just saw that on a service history of my Altima that popped up that's still in my app, the 2012 that I'd had, just now shows that it got new tires at 80,000 miles. And I had traded it in at 67,000 and put those tires on at 57,000. Those were the Yokohama Avid, I believe they were. Pretty good tire. I was very happy with them at the time I had the car. So honestly, that's probably what this car will get, as a set of Yokohama when it is due, which hopefully won't be until at least next fall. But yeah, as you can see, the car's doing well. Fire's right up. Shut it back off here. Not really a need to waste the gas. It does have a little bit of an odd smell, to be honest with you. In the winter, I've noticed it. I don't know if it's a winter mixture of the fuel, but it's definitely more chemically smelling, if that makes any sense. The exhaust, it's very odd. I've never really smelled a car that smells like this. Not that I go around smelling car exhaust, but you get the idea. One thing that did happen with the Oldsmobile since my previous videos is I decided to make a transition, and that transition was to antique plates. It was kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie, because this car had the license plate from my first car on it. I had managed to get it re-registered. It was still under my name when I went to go buy this car, even though it had been almost 3 years since I had gotten rid of that car. It had been registered up and through 2014, and I bought this in 2015. So I was able to transition that license plate to this car, and it gave it a little bit of special meaning. But in the last year, I don't drive the car much, especially now that I have this. I don't really drive it very many places, and it was just an unnecessary cost every year having to get it inspected, and gotta arrange time to take it somewhere and drop it off. And it got too much for a car that maybe sees 2,000 to 3,000 miles a year. And with everything going on in the world, haven't been going to car cruises as much. And with the new car, it just doesn't see the action that it saw. So the little bit that it does get driven, I figured that was a good time in its place to just make the change, get it as an antique. I'm going to continue working on it, and it frees up a little bit of cash flow too. Here in Pennsylvania, once you have an antique plate, you're no longer required to have state safety inspections or emissions. You also don't have to register it. It's a lifetime registration for that license plate. So it was a little bit of money invested up front, but it's going to save money from having to the $42 plus fees every year of registration, which comes out to like $84 for 2 cars, plus fees, plus 60 some dollars in inspection every year. Not to mention, you know, I do the maintenance on this car, so every year I'm doing work on the car. So it's never really in need of anything when it comes time for inspection. Nothing safety wise, but it's things that I was going to do anyways that I do throughout the year. So it's not an added cost onto the yearly inspection, but it kind of is, because I'm set on a deadline that I have from the second the warm weather hits to July at one point, and until August, which July being the peak of the cruising season for car cruises and such, to get this car ready for inspection. And it frees up more time, it takes less stress off of me, and the car is antique. It's an 83. So I think it's earned its right at this point to bear the badge. And the license plate that is on it now, I did have it customized. It is a significance to one of the previous owners of the vehicle. Not the original owner, not even the owner per se of the car. Owner by title name, name on title. But kind of really like the car. It's a person that I got the car from, and was always asking me about the car and the work I've done to it as I've worked on it over the years here, and was always had a big smile when he saw the car was there, and he would ask, how's my car doing? Try not to get choked up. He did pass away last year, and that was part of the decision to go ahead and just do it. And I figured if I was doing it, I was going to get a custom plate made for the vehicle. So that's kind of where we're at with it. I got a lot in plans this summer here for this car. Now that I don't have to worry about getting an appointment and getting it inspected and dealing with all that, we're gonna have to figure something out for the top. That is something that is going to have to happen. I know there is some issues starting behind here with the, I believe it would probably be the lead solder where it connects the panels together. I did peel this back and I did see an issue starting here. So this has to get dealt with. It's just how I'm going to go about it, I'm not sure. I really wish I had a place that I could store it. During the process, I'm thinking I might try to do this myself. If I do, I don't know if I'll make a video because I don't know how it's going to turn out. But it's something that's going to have to get done with the car here. Otherwise, it's running great. Last year I put that new exhaust system on it. It has the new catalytic converter. The shocks are all newer on it. It's probably going to need a battery, to be honest, because this is its second battery since I've owned it, third battery technically since I've owned it, or going to be the third battery now, I guess. This is the second battery, yeah. Both under warranty. At this point, I don't think this one's under warranty any longer, and if it is, it's only a discounted warranty, like a prorate. And I'm honestly beyond that point where I just want to put a good battery in this car, spend a little bit of money on a nice battery that's a name brand that will last, instead of every 3 to 4 years having to deal with replacing it. These tires should be still good on the car. Just had that alignment done on it not long ago and had these new tires put on it. These are the Nexans. I tell you what, guys, if you're looking for white wall tires and you don't want to break the budget, look at Nexan. These tires are less than $100 a tire. I think I got all of them for like $350. And these are slightly larger. I'm gonna change the size the next time around. I've been experimenting. These are a 225/75/15. Honestly, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a 235/65/15. Give me one moment. Anyways, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to edit that out. I got a phone call, believe it or not, from a person directly related to the person I was talking about with the license plate on this car. Funny how the world works like that. But anywho, yeah, well, maybe we'll do a quick cold start on this. I don't know how it's going to do. I may set the alarm off because the battery was at 5 volts. But let's give it a shot here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put it down, and we're going to see an exhaust clip for it. All right, just give me one moment. He's running, the radio's all mad. Bet the clock is off. What time is it? Actually, the clock ran on 5 volts. Yeah, it says it's 513 and it's 413 or 418 or 518. I've stopped changing it whenever the time change happens. It's just too hard on that. I just don't want to have to flex it all the way back through the entire time frame again every time I have to change it to go back 1 hour. You have to go all the way through. Probably a lot of wind noise now, but sounds good. Go ahead and unplug it. Fortunately, haven't had too many problems with the critters. Last year I was having a lot of animal issues, and even into the summer months with what I think was chipmunks. Fortunately, they haven't seemed to be rearing their heads again. It's really interesting to listen to this car when it goes through its warm-up. As you can hear the computer controls actually kicking in, because it is a computer controlled carburetor, and you can hear when the computer takes effect, and when it goes through the warm-up and when it does after the first rev, because it does smooth out. Typically when you first start the car, it's very rough, and then it'll just kick idle and the car will start. I don't know if it's going into like a default strategy or how it works on these cars. And then as it warms up, you can hear it smooth out again, and really hear the computer take control of the mixtures in the carburetor, and the O2 emissions from the O2 sensor. But yeah, it's almost around 39, 40 degrees, at least a week, maybe 2 since it's been started. So not bad. A little bit of a crank period, but had to get fuel up. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the video there because my hand's frozen. I'm gonna take it out here for a little scoot, do a little driving, let that car have a little bit of break here for the day, and I'll get back to you soon. Hopefully we'll have some more videos coming up as soon as the weather breaks. Been really contemplating getting the blow-off valve spacer for the K5, to allow it to get some more noises from the turbo. Just, I don't know. We're thinking about it. Maybe I will. It'd be a good video, I was thinking. A little bit of moisture. But thanks for watching. As always, subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. Hopefully somebody will get something from that information as far as the WeatherTechs are. And y'all have a good day and Happy New Year.